We're back. Thank goodness. Where y'all been? Anyway, on today's show, I'm going to talk about Rebel Moon Part 2 finally. Mike has our first look at Cover Combat 9, and Pat asks, is the next HasLab a wretched hive of scum and villainy? Welcome to your favorite live streaming, whatnotting podcast, comics and collectibles in a crawl space. I am your fourth or fifth favorite podcasting host, Kevin. And of course, I'm not alone. As usual, first up is Mike.
Hey, it's been so long, I couldn't find the right buttons. Like all kinds of stuff. My kids have graduated school, college. Holy cow. We paid off the house. Everything's been so long.
It has.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear what Pat's been up to.
And of course, yes, Patrick is here.
I am here. How's everyone's April going?
It's gone.
Oh, wait.
Oh, man. And then, of course, last but not least, as you could already tell already, because that was such a smooth laugh track, Karen's with us. So we're all here after a long sabbatical, which started with a teeny tiny, I need a break from Pat, and turned into a humongous, I need a break from Kevin for multiple reasons. Life decided to just smack me right across the face with, you ain't got time for a podcast. So, my personal apologies to everyone, but all of us feel bad because all the people that were looking forward to us every Saturday morning were sad as heck. I was getting inundated with email after email after email. I just, you get so many messages, you just start ignoring them because you can't respond to all of them. You know what I mean, Pat?
Yeah, you didn't have to ignore mine.
No. Well, that was part of it that really sucked is because I see you fairly regularly, Mike, because we live in the same state. But without seeing Pat's beautiful face every Saturday, that was lacking in my life as well. So anyway, as you can imagine, we've got a lot to cover today. Some of it might be old info, but we're gonna roll with it anyway. And to make people not wait any longer, let's start with Cover Combat 9 because I'm super excited for this too. It sucks I've been having to wait for this too. I'm the only one in the room that hasn't seen this at all of us.
Right.
So we want to start with that, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So we've got the Cover Combat 9 logo that Patrick worked on, and once again, home run, knocked it out of the park. So we'll put this up, and then we'll kind of talk about the details on what's going to go into Cover Combat 9. All right. Y'all ready?
No. Hold on one sec. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, I'm ready. Okay.
All right. Here we go. There you go. Cover Combat 9, Exceller versus the World.
That's awesome. As usual, great work there, Pat. That is ridiculous.
Thanks.
Yep.
We're all big fans of help me out, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, right?
Yeah. Well, I've never read Scott Pilgrim, but I've watched the movie, and the movie's awesome. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I've never read the comic either, so I was just referring to the movie as well. Pat, did you read the comic?
Yeah, I read the comic first, then I saw the movie. I was happy with the adaptation.
Nice. Okay, that's good to hear. Awesome.
I know Cora's been wanting the comic for it. I just haven't got around to getting it.
How many issues is that anyway?
They're like volumes. I read them in like sort of trade paperback form. I think that's the way they came out. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. I'm just trying to see if I can see it from here, but yeah.
Okay, Mike, you want to take that down?
No.
Okay. So how is Cover Combat 9 Exceller Versus Edition going to work exactly?
Well, we've got all of our core Exceller group. We have all submitted 2 covers, and then we have the extended family, which is our family members that didn't participate in 8. They submitted 1 cover. I think it was 1 cover, or was it 8? I can't remember. And then we actually have fans that have submitted a bulk of covers too. It's this is all done already, and I haven't looked at it in a month.
Yeah, imagine disappearing for 2 months and then not remembering everything from 2 months ago. Good job, Mike.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I think you're accurate when you corrected yourself and said our extended family they submitted 8 apiece. And then what yeah,
it's 1 because my brother's in there and he only submitted 1. Yeah, extended family is only 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the viewers submitted 8.
Yeah. 7 or 8. 7 or 8. The math all works out in the end. I can't remember. But the way it's going to work is like you and I aren't going to verse each other. You and Pat aren't going to verse each other. So Exceller members aren't going to verse each other until it gets down to the point where that's all there is to it. So we're going to constantly every week we're going to be versing. We've got 2 covers where everybody else has a bunch of covers. So the deck is definitely stacked against us.
Hello, your grandpa. Your grandpa's checking in. Hey, awesome. Missed you, buddy. Where you been? Where you been? Hello.
Now your great grandpa, probably.
Your great grandpa.
Yeah.
So yes, to clarify that conversation. To clarify that conversation, then, so it's Exceller members for the first 2 to 3 rounds. It's going to be matchups where you're actually going to admittedly manipulate a little bit. Now, we've always joked about how you had to have manipulated some of those matchups because they were so coincidental or whatever.
Yeah,
you're
I had a formula
to do it for the first couple.
I had a formula, so it's still random. I can't remember how I had written it down. Where I counted all the boxes that are in there, like 1 through whatever, and I assigned Exceller members a number, randomly.
Okay.
Put those in, and then all the other numbers that weren't used, they were assigned to everybody else, and they just got randomly assigned a number. So they weren't matching up against each other; they're matching up mostly against us. So
okay.
So it's all still random. The only thing I manipulated was like, okay, this group is going to fill in the gaps first.
Gotcha.
And then this group is second. So yeah, I just like everything to be random because
Yeah.
Amazing. It is amazing.
It is amazing.
And the covers are amazing, awesome. And this is pretty cool for I reached out to Rich Woodall from Sergeant Werewolf, and he submitted covers too. So that'll be great. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk to him in Baltimore about it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yep.
Definitely. So we're going to do round 1A, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, correct?
Correct. What date was that? The 24th.
Yeah. Karen's birthday. Perfect. She's gonna look for a little bit of favoritism, I think, because it's her birthday. If hers comes up. Yeah, so all that's exciting. Awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming then. Oh, that's great. I'm up first.
Yep, you're first.
I can handle it. All right, as you can imagine, this is going to be short and sweet.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It is. Not only because
crowd eating out of my hand today. I'll shut up.
Yeah, you do. Not only because I've intentionally made the decision, I'm going to taper what Kevin watched dramatically, but also because it's been 2 months, I can't remember half of this stuff I watched. But I do want to start with this because we've mentioned this a few times and we never got around to talking about it because I was actually, surprisingly enough, because I'm the X-Men fan, or the X-Men 97 fan, and I would say in our group the most. Maybe Tyler's a tie, but anyway, I hadn't watched it. I think I didn't watch it for the first 2 or 3 weeks it was out. But I finally got around to watching X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. Did you watch it all, Pat?
Yes, I think I did watch it all.
Did you watch any of these, Mike? I told you this is our group. You mentioned, yeah. I think you mentioned you only like our group, but this is our group from when we first started, collecting.
Yep, I do remember you saying that, and I do want to watch it. I didn't get around to it, but I didn't watch the original.
Yeah, go back and watch all that first because that's super high quality stuff, in my opinion.
It's important for this too.
Yeah, it continues right on. It's really nice how it was done that way, right, Pat?
If you say so, because I never watched all of the original 90s X-Men show.
Oh, that's right. You really didn't care for that. And there's a couple other people in the group that want to beat it up left and right. But I will say this. It seems like the people that beat up the old school X-Men animated series are very artistic. Maybe you might fit in this group then, Mike. You'd be like, oh, this art's trash. This animation is trash. You might fit into that category, Mike, because you're kind of an art, aficionado like that. I'm not. You put some slop up on the screen. It's fun. It's got a good story. I'm in. And that's why I loved the original animated series, as does my son. And maybe that's actually part of it too. We watched that together because, that was Tyler was a real young boy then. And it was great stuff. And we still hold it near and dear to our heart to this day. So I was super excited for this. And basically, just to keep it, again, short and sweet, I continue to love this, although I will say but this might be because of the other things I just said with it, watching it with Tyler. And obviously, I wasn't super young man when that was out. I was, in my late 20s?
27.
Yeah. So it's not like you have this, you watched it as a little kid to appreciate it, and then things are totally different now. But there is a little bit of that because I kind of enjoyed it kind of vicariously, maybe through Tyler a little bit. I feel like I like the original X-Men better. Might have to do with the story too,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's while you weren't a kid, you were way younger, different person.
Yeah.
Since then, you've been exposed to different experiences and different stuff, so you kind of have more things to gauge it against.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely like this a lot. I'm just saying, I think I may have still liked the original a little bit more. So I'm going to give this definitely a solid 8 bags of popcorn. Check out X-Men 9. How many episodes? Do you know how many episodes it is entirely for this season 1 here? Pat?
It was 10. 10 maybe. Yeah.
I think that sounds about right. So good stuff. Definitely check it out. A little bit of controversy with the last episode too. Did you see that? Did you guys see that?
I don't recall any controversy, and there's little bits of controversy like any Disney Marvel show
Disney
these
thing.
days.
Yeah.
There was a kind of a neat shout out to Harmony, Pennsylvania. Ended up being the birthplace of Bastion, the X-Men villain, and a little bit of the show took place right down the road here in Harmony from me. So that was kind of interesting.
Oh, that is awesome. I didn't know that.
There's some kind of Pittsburgh ties to the show. I don't know if it was the creator that actually got fired, but you see him in the intro, I think, and he's wearing a pirate's hat too. So there must be some Pittsburgh connection there.
Yeah, might be Western Pennsylvania guy or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
And I do want to say too that I really appreciated the fact that it was a neat little thing that they kept changing and tweaking the intro. Like every single episode, there's like something a little different that was tweaked or added or changed. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I only noticed that once. They did that every episode though, huh? I'm gonna have to.
Quite a few, maybe not every, but quite a few.
Oh, okay. Because you know how when that comes on, I'm totally jammed to the music, but I'm not really. Yeah,
you're up still dancing around the living room,
right? I mean, because man, the theme music is so awesome, in this. But I think everybody can agree with that, even with the original, right, Pat?
Yes, yeah. I don't think it aged very well. I don't know. It's definitely a relic of that time period, I think.
Okay. All right, so in my opinion, all positive things for this. Check it out on Disney Plus. And then I was going to review Dune 2 again because I had forgotten that I reviewed it already, because Dune 2, I saw it in theaters, but it is streaming now, has been for like a long time now, 6 weeks, I don't know. You can check that out on HBO Max. So I'm not going to go over that again. I loved it though. Short recap. I loved it. See it. I'm loving both of the 2 new Dunes that came out. Get ready for Dune 3. It seems like it's going to be epic, and I'm happy so far. But I'm not going to do that today, Mike. But I did implant this that I forgot to mention to you that I don't know if you're aware of. This is called Under Paris on Netflix. Are you aware of this, Mike?
I saw the poster and I saw somebody say it's like the greatest shark movie since Jaws, but I didn't realize it was going to be on Netflix. Oh, it is on Netflix.
Yeah.
June yet? Yeah. Oh, nice. So you did watch it? Oh.
What the heck happened there?
I have my papers sitting on my laptop. This is like the most sensitive keyboard thing ever. I'll accidentally just glance over something and it'll open it up.
Anyway. Your paper just clicked on a thing to put up Scott Pilgrim. Cover Combat 9 again.
Well, the paper was there and I had my hand resting in it. Yeah, it was my paper.
Okay.
I didn't realize this was out already. So
yeah,
you watched it?
I did.
All right.
And
the greatest shark movie since Jaws?
I'm gonna say maybe.
Ooh.
This is really good. Heads up, it's French.
Okay.
So you got to be able to deal with dubbed or, subtitles if you want. I recommend dubbed. Just because, it's obviously a gift, a skill, practice thing to pay attention to what's on the screen and read the subtitles at the same time. So I actually tried that because, every time I watch something that's dubbed, I like to then watch it in its original language so I can see how not goofy. Dubbed always comes across as kind of goofy, regardless of the content. It's a little goofy sometimes because their mouths aren't matching the words and the voice maybe doesn't exactly match. I can't exactly explain it, but you guys feeling what I'm saying about dubbed though?
Yeah.
You have that experience?
Like, that guy's voice wouldn't be like that.
Right. That's a good way to put it. Right.
Animation's a different story.
Yeah. So I watched it in French, or I started watching it in French just to see what was up for a couple scenes, and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good dubbing in my opinion. But anyway, so basically what's happening here is this is just a big shark. It's not like a meg or anything. It's just a really big bad butt shark, just like Jaws. And this thing has evolved to where it can live in fresh or salt water. And it's migrating all over the place, and it ends up, as you can imagine, under Paris, right?
In like the sewers?
No, it's like yes, sewers, but then they've got channels and stuff going all through there.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see in this poster that's actually this is very reminiscent of Jaws too, because there's a whole thing where they're having a triathlon there. See all these people swimming in the poster? So they're having a triathlon there. And of course, there's a genius shark lady that's like, hey, there's a shark here. This is not a good idea. Don't have that race. And of course, the mayor's like, no, this is millions of dollars. We're going to lose. You know how much we've invested in this? We're not going to lose all that money. The triathlon's on. You just do your job, which they hired this lady to kind of find the shark because they knew the shark was coming. You need to find this shark and stop it before the race. So the race is still on. And even if you don't stop it yet, keep it over there kind of thing. Don't let it over here in the triathlon area.
Yeah.
You just keep it in that area, which you can imagine that worked out perfectly,
Hey, did anybody say anything like, we're going to need a bigger moat?
No one said that. Yeah. But there's a few twists and turns in this, and it ends on a cliffhanger. There's definitely going to be a part. Hey, and I usually say part 2 like this, but I'm going to mean it literally now because this is French. There is going to be a part 2.
Is that French for 2?
Yes.
You know what's kind of cool? I like the in the end how underneath they've got the shark fin. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and that's as far as the special effects and production of this and stuff too. It's spot on. Well,
I'm definitely watching it.
Yeah, I think you would really like it a lot. Absolutely, check it out. And my rating, I'm going to give this a solid 8 bags of popcorn as well.
Nice.
It's good stuff. Fun time. If you can suspend reality of how stupid people will be, well, you'd hope people wouldn't be this stupid, but who knows? Maybe if this was a real thing, the mayors of any town anywhere would be like, hey, no, we got to keep this going.
Yeah. All about the money.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So, and then lastly, while we were away, Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver, dropped on Netflix as well. Oh, look at that, April 19th. I think that was the very next week after our last show.
Right. That's funny.
So is anybody in the room up on any Rebel Moon? Did you watch the first one? Did you watch both of them? Maybe just the second one? Anybody?
No.
Daggum. You know, you guys make me mad sometimes, you know, because
I bet we do.
sometimes, you know, I figure you'd watch it and you don't. And then sometimes I'm not even covering and you're watching something I'm not covering. But then in this case, this one really gets my goat because, Pat, how many times did I sell this movie coming like a year before it was dropping? Remember that?
Yes.
I'm telling everybody. We even had a big conversation about the comic coming out, Mike. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff. I'm like, Rebel Moon, we got to check this out. And neither one of you. Here you are. It's okay. I forgive it. You guys forgive me for missing 2 months. I forgive you for not watching the show. It's fine.
You know, I think what I might be doing is when I see anything like for the show, I have a negative opinion of the comic book. I'm not interested in the comic book. So when I see the show, I carry that over, and I shouldn't. So maybe that's what I got to get past.
Yeah, because the comic book adaptation has nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like there was no connection. You know, the movie was just out. It's not like the comic and then the movie. The movie's out, and then they made the comic based on it. You know, so yeah, there's no. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming the comic is. I don't know anything about the comic. You know, as far as content is concerned, whether it's a continuation of Rebel Moon or whether it's just an adaptation of exactly Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2, I don't know. But whatever it is, it came after. So you know, yeah, you should separate those two things here. You know. But what you can't separate is the quality of Rebel Moon, and I'm mixed on this. Okay. So, reminder to people, and you know, I've said this a bunch of times, and every time I say the same thing, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure on this, but Zack Snyder said this was his pitch for Episode 7, Star Wars, and it didn't get accepted, so he decided he was going to make his own movie based on this information, and that's what kind of created Rebel Moon, and you can definitely see that when you're watching this movie.
Say this is a Star Wars ripoff.
Exactly right. Does that help at all? That you know, basically, you're aware that that it was intended to be started. Does that help it that it's a ripoff, for lack of a better way to describe it, because you're aware it was a Star Wars pitch? Does that help or hurt, Mike? What do you think?
Well, I think it would help if you were aware, because if you weren't and you watched it, you're like, man, this is a Star Wars ripoff. But if you know that it was intended to be a Star Wars, but just not, so yeah, why waste the story and just scrap it? It's like, look, let me change the title, let me change a couple elements here and put it out. So, yeah, I think it's cool, but I think it is better to know the original origin of it.
Okay, good. I agree with all that. That was well said. So. Anyway, we talked about Rebel Moon way back when. So Rebel Moon, the Scar Giver, basically, here's the differences between the two in general. And this is, I would say, my biggest complaint, which really isn't a complaint, but if I have one with these two movies, is they're extremely similar, except the first one, there's a Rebel Moon. The first one, they go out to the fight. And then in the second one, the fight comes to them. But it's really similar. The big difference is, you know, basically the rebels are hired by this little, you know, farm community because the bad guys are coming to get them. So the rebels take the initiative to not only go out and group up, but also attack the bad guys there, away from the farmers. But then in this one, the bad guys are bitter that the rebels came out and kicked their butt out there. So they're like, oh, okay, we're just going to come and directly kill all the farmers and just take all their stuff. The first one, it was kind of like a Bug's Life. It was like, hey, you need to have this much resources for us. We'll be back in 2 months to get it. So the farmers are like, I actually, as I'm talking, I'm realizing how similar this is to Bug's Life.
The Bug's Life, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, how many rebels are there? 7, because that's a 7 Samurai ripoff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's 7 Samurai connection too. Yeah, right. So yeah, the farmers are like, you got to help us. So they form all the rebels together. They go out and beat up the the main girl there. You can see there with the pistol. She used to work for the bad guys, kind of reminiscent of what's his name? Pat. What's his name? Huh?
I don't know. I didn't watch this.
No, Star Wars Stormtrooper. Used to be a Stormtrooper. Finn.
Oh, Finn. Yeah.
Drawing a blank. So anyway, kind of reminiscent of Finn. She used to work for the bad guys. She used to be a guard for the bad guys. And she's like the leader of the rebels. And they go out and they actually kill the supreme leader. But of course, again, similar to Star Wars, he comes back. He's got himself cloned or something like that. I can't remember exactly the technology because it's been a while since I've seen this. But anyway, he comes back. So then, of course, the first thing he says when he wakes up is, I need to go get that, So they head back to the Rebel Moon to where the farmers actually are. And they're like, okay, you didn't want to give us your stuff. Now we're just going to kill all y'all and take everything. So then now it's the rebels, the same exact rebels from, of course, the first part. But then now they've also got the help of all the farmers that have picked up their pitchforks and sickles and they're ready to go,
Nice.
And there is a major contrast with that, with technology, of course. But I think it was done really well as far as not letting that stand out and be too annoying. Because the rebels, of course, they've got skills and they've got technology. They've got one battleship, but then the rest of the farmers, they're kind of pulling whatever they can make traps and tricks all around the farm. So when they're being assaulted, blah blah blah. But and then there is a twist at the end of this. Oh, did I mention there was a twist at the end of Under Paris too? I mean, like super. Yes. Mike, wait till you see that. But anyway, so yeah, there's a twist at the end of this, which was actually pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Interesting, and it did something that you weren't even knowing you wanted to see, which was cool. And then Rebel Moon Part 3 is definitely inbound as well. So I can't remember exactly what I gave the first Rebel Moon. I think it was probably positive. I think maybe a 7. And then I'm going to go the same route with this. I think this is a little bit better because the first one, of course, their character building and stuff. So that took up a lot of space in the first one, but this one, they kind of just get to it. So I'm going to go with not quite an 8 on this one, 7.5 bags of popcorn for Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver, on Netflix. And just to let you know, The Scar Giver is the lead rebel's nickname because, as you can imagine, she gave the leader of the bad guys Scar.
Yeah, makes sense.
So very clever in that way.
I have a question about the character in the middle there with the deer antlers.
Uh-huh.
Is he awesome? Because he looks cool.
He's very awesome, and he's super involved in. That's a droid.
Oh, okay. Is he in the first Rebel Moon also?
Yeah, he's in the first one.
Oh, cool. He's my favorite character.
Okay. What's his name? Anthony Hopkins voices him too.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool. But and you can see in this it's a great poster, actually. You can see in this poster they kind of cover the gambit of all different types of characters too, and that's I love that kind of thing. So. But yeah, the deer antlers, I didn't even notice that until then. But anyway, that's a funny part. But he's big time involved in the twist at the end, and you'll love it. So check it out. So. All right. Do you have any questions about that, Pat?
Not really. I'm glad you're giving it sort of a positive review because I just hear so many bad things about these movies.
I know, man. Yeah, and sometimes, and I'm sure you probably experience this too, Mike, you probably do too. I mean, sometimes you just shake your head at like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, and I'm gonna segue that into controversy happening right now with Acolyte and Star Wars. Okay, so in my opinion, what I seem to notice about the Acolyte, which I'm gonna get to reviewing that, I haven't watched it yet because again, life and all that. I get when Star Wars people have an expectation of Star Wars and they completely flip it on its head. I get how that's completely annoying. And you could, for lack of a better way to describe it, hate it. Hate using the word hate. Wait. Anyway, I don't like using the word hate because it's such a strong word. I feel like it's tossed around too. Like people use the word hate and put it into, I really didn't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously the new Star Wars is getting a lot of hate because of all the changes they've made in an established IP, right? What I've always said is just come up with original writing, Mike, right? That's what we always say, right?
Yeah.
Just come up with original stuff, right? And then they come out with Rebel Moon, completely original characters. There's nobody to, change and all the crazy things that the culture that people don't like currently is changing about. It's original material, right? So you shouldn't have a problem with that, right, Pat?
Yeah.
But people still complain about this like it's like this super horrible piece of trash too, but I'm not on board with that. You give me original, I'm going to give it its fair due, and since I've got nothing to compare it to, I'm just going to watch it on its own merits. This is not Star Wars. This isn't Star Wars in its heyday, the best parts of Star Wars that I think it was. This isn't this great epic thing we're going to be talking about 40 years down the road like we are Star Wars. It's not that great, but it's not horrible. It's not complete trash. Man, I hope when you guys see this, you agree with me. It's not Dune either. Dune is definitely better than this. But give it a break. It's not that bad. Especially the sci-fi or the special effects and like I said, the production of it and all. It's high quality. I've mentioned this a million times over the years too. It's high quality production, sci-fi action on a straight to streaming platform. It could be in the theaters, so I love that kind of thing. So
where we at as far as did the like the director's cut or the R-rated cut come out for either parts of these yet?
I haven't seen if they have. No. Okay. I haven't even heard they are. Did you hear they are?
Yeah.
Huh.
Definitely a thing, but
I
don't know when or how or where. Well, Netflix, but
yeah, don't know anything about that yet.
I'll wait for the black and white version.
Did you say you watched Godzilla -1 again now that that's out?
I started watching it again. I got interrupted.
I want to check it out in color. So
yeah, I tell you, it's good in color. I really love it so much more in black and white.
Are you on that same page too, Pat? Did you watch the black and white version yet?
No, I haven't seen the black and white version.
Okay.
I don't think it's out yet, is it? Oh wait, yeah, you can. Well, not free. You
can buy two. Yeah.
You can buy it. Yeah, remember I complained.
Right. Because they're not even together, right? You got to buy it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $28 or $30 to get two. Just charge me 24 for both.
Right. You tell them, Mike.
Right. Anyway, I get it.
All right, enough of me. Like I said, I was going to keep that short and sweet. There you go. You ready for the spotlight again, Mike?
I'm getting there. Yeah.
All right, your turn.
Yeah.
Oh crap! Sorry.
Anyway, Rebel Moon.
This would have been perfect time to do a segment theme song trivia since we're all 2 months away from it, or 2 months past, since the last time we've heard it, to see who could remember what, because, man, I love our intros.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do well at that game.
All right, what you got?
All right. Here we have 10 covers chosen from a list of 476. The shelf date here, Wednesday, June 19th. A little bit of background on coming up with this list. It was hard. I started, I think, Tuesday, and I got 3. And then I just got so frustrated after going through the whole list. I just scrapped it and said I'll get back to it, Thursday. It wasn't until I think Friday morning I finally tightened everything up.
Wow.
So I did struggle here, and we had a few weeks off, but early on I still prepared a pick 3, and there were some really exciting covers coming out. Unfortunately, we missed them. So if we miss weeks, we have weeks that we're not going to do a show, I'm still going to try to at least do a pick 3 to put on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I think that'd be great if you're able to. Yeah. I mean, but we're all busy. We're all busy.
Yeah. So let's start off here. Batman 149, Gabriel Del Auto, and then Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime #1 from Scotty Young, and that is actually published by Marvel. I thought that was pretty cool. I guess Marvel's got the Uncle Scrooge title now. It's Disney,
Yeah.
Next up, World's Finest #28, Nathan Serzi, and then Al Capone, Vampire #0 by these are brothers here, Brendan and Brian Frame, and then Briar #6 from Danny. Those one name people,
right?
Then Destro #1, Jorge Fornes, and this is the 1-in-50 ratio. Then Django Fett #4, Tony S. Daniel. And while I'm on that one, that I chatted with Tyler about this one that kind of looks like Amazing Spider-Man. Was it 316 with Venom on top of Spidey?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different because Venom's left arm isn't up in the air. So, and on this it doesn't say Daniel's after McFarlane, so I don't think he meant for it to be an homage, but
it's just a coincidence.
Yeah. And then this one's a little tricky. North Valley Grimoire #1 from David Nakayama. Now, this actually came out, I think, 3 or 4 months ago, but what was just released recently is a San Diego Comic-Con version of it with no trade dress. I still wanted to highlight the book because I think it's fantastic. And the one without the trade dress, nobody would know what it was. So I elected to use the trade dress, even though this came out a while ago. It's my game. I'll change the rules as I like.
Right.
And next up, Doctor Strange #16 from Alex Ross, part of the Blood Hunt storyline. And then Invincible Iron Man 19, Rod Reese. And that is it. That wraps it up.
Man. I'm gonna out the gate say this is a great week. I might be a little biased because we haven't seen any pick 3s in a while. I was thinking about that when I was so amazed at how great of a week this was. I was thinking maybe it's just because you haven't done it in a while, but I'm not going to diminish its awesomeness with that. I'm literally just saying that I thought this was really hard for me to pick. Definitely.
Yeah, I guess I struggle, and what I remember is, just going through and just really struggling on nothing really jumped out sometimes. But at the end of the day, when you get all 10 together as a whole, it's like, okay, these 10 are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think the way I look at it is a little bit different than everybody else. So
yeah. What say you on that, Pat? What about this week?
Well, I had a hard time picking 3, but for different reasons, Kevin. Let's just
well explain.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of many of these covers. So.
Come on now. Okay, seriously. Let's go through this one by one. You don't like that Batman cover? Come on, that's awesome. Wait, actually, maybe we should save this conversation.
Yeah, after, because he doesn't want to. And then also think about this. One of these covers got 0 votes. So
I know which one it is. I know I can name that already.
I know. Okay, hold that thought. And
let me hold on. I will hold that thought, but I'm just going to say this first: that it's not because it's horrible either. It's just because I think it's predictable.
You know the crowd.
Yeah,
the voting crowd. Most weeks, at least all the covers all get at least 1 vote.
Yeah, there's
a random one that gets none. So
right. Yeah, that's the gauge, right? That's the way you gauge it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. If they all get at least 1, then it was a success.
Yeah.
And the other gauge is if New York Mike votes for 3, which he did.
Nice.
Hey.
I love having those little, what do you call them? Markers.
How many messages did you get from New York Mike over the last 2 months? Where's my options, Mike? Where's my options, Mike? How many?
0. Oh. I actually haven't. I haven't talked to him since the last pick 3. I looked at our conversation. And the last thing that we talked about was pick 3.
All right, what we got then?
All right, coming in 3rd place, we had, and this was a last.
Oh, geez, did you freeze?
Last. No, I'm still here. Hello.
You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. This was one of the last books that I added, so I'm glad to see that it did well. In 3rd place, we have Invincible Iron Man number 19, Rod Reese.
Kevin's the frozen one.
Kevin's frozen. Did Kevin freeze?
He looks like he's in deep thought or he's frozen.
Yeah. I think he's what's he doing? Coming back in?
Sounds like it.
And he's still frozen in his second thing there.
Oh, he's there 2
Look
times.
At him.
Wow.
Dude, I thought cloning was only in the comic books. Come on.
What happened? What happened?
Look at that glitch. You said, did you freeze? And you actually froze.
That was so, yeah. Well, first I thought it was you because obviously I could tell it was you because you were the one talking. Mm-hmm. But then I looked at Pat and of course I'm like, Pat, is he frozen to you too? And then Pat's just frozen. And I'm like, Karen, hello? And I realized it was me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So there we go. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, Kevin. This was one of the last books that I added to the list. So I feel it was a good choice.
Yeah, that is a good choice. You know, it wouldn't be a comeback show without some technical difficulties, though, right? I mean, it wouldn't feel right.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to blame StreamYard for that, but anything we did.
Man, I love this cover. I voted for this one.
Yeah.
Wait, did I vote? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. Like I said, I'm probably going to feel like I voted for every single one of these winners, regardless of whether I did or not, because I felt like I wanted to vote for 9 of the 10. Seriously.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. 2nd place. I'm really happy that this one did as well as it did. I didn't expect it. We've got Briar number 6 from Danny. Came in 2nd.
Nice. I definitely voted for this one. I remember that specifically, actually. Yep.
Yep. What I have no idea what this book is about. I've seen the issues coming out, just didn't pay attention to it. But what I really liked about this one, it really has a Frank Miller feel to it, but like when Frank Miller was on his A game and hadn't changed his style. I think his style is, I think he's purposefully doing what he's doing now, with I guess there's a little bit of restrictions with his age and stuff. But this just really reminded me of Frank Miller. Not to take anything away from Danny and her creativity and visions herself, but yeah, I just love this one.
This reminded me how much Pat hates Thrones. That's what I was thinking on this, but I liked it a lot, so I voted for it.
Yep.
All right.
What do you think of this one, Pat?
I think that myself or none of my family voted for this one.
Oh man.
Nope.
Don't you love how Pat, he just says everything nice, even if it's negative, because he doesn't want it to sound mean? That Pat, love you for that, man. Love you, man. It's great.
Yep. I didn't vote for Invincible Iron Man, but I did vote for this one, so I'm pretty happy there.
Pat, do you ever just yell? And do you ever get angry and just yell at people? Like, I can't imagine you mean ever.
Is Valor here?
Yeah, maybe I should have said. I should have said aside from your kid, I should say, because they need it sometimes. They gotta have that, but you know. But anyway, continue.
I think Pat and then my brother Pat have kind of the same
temperament,
personality style. It's it's very laid back, easygoing. Yeah. I always describe my brother as he can win like $100 million lottery, and his reaction would be like, "Sweet."
right. I won 1,000 in Atlantic City one day, and I did laps.
Right. Yeah.
That's the differences there. Anyway,
so laid back. All right, and coming in first place, we have no surprise here.
No surprise.
149. Gabriel Deodato crushed the competition, almost doubled second place in votes.
Nice, Pat. Do you concur or no, Pat?
This probably would have been maybe my fourth pick. Maybe.
Daggum. I just checked my text to you, Mike. I nailed all three. I wasn't sure about Invincible Iron Man. I picked all three. Nailed it.
Yep. Shut out.
Yeah.
You didn't get any, Pat? Daggum. How many did you get, Mike? How many did you pick?
2.
Nice. All right, you want to put up the 10 so we can talk about this?
Yeah, let me talk about this. This was one of my. I love the whole Nightfall storyline. And
oh yeah, Karen got 2 out of 3. Good job, Karen.
And I like Bane when he's drawn like this, and all that. And so that's why I really like this one. It's really great.
Period. What? I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna get anally specific here, Mike. What one didn't you pick?
Oh, I didn't pick Invincible Iron Man.
Karen, how about you?
I went with Destro, actually was my other one. Let me put everything up here. Yeah, Destro was the one that I picked that did not place. Karen, what did Karen pick? World's Finest for Karen. You got the Batgirl Supergirl there for.
Ah, nice. Which that's a great cover. I love that cover. All right, Pat. Which one did you which 3 did you pick?
I went for Uncle Scrooge because there's a ton of variant covers for this Uncle Scrooge book.
Yeah,
and I thought this was interesting by Scotty Young that he sort of stayed on model for Uncle Scrooge, but you can see his own style in it, and so I like that. And I voted for North Valley Grimoire. Another, what's his name? David Nakayama, right?
Yeah, that's kind of, it looks like that's like not typical David Nakayama.
Exactly.
So you can tell his style, but the layout's completely different than anything you usually see him do. Yeah.
Right. So it's sort of following a theme there. It's different but the same for both those 2 books. And then
yeah.
Finally went with the Alex Ross Doctor Strange because man, that Dracula there is a definite tribute to Gene Colan there.
Yeah,
it looks just like his Dracula, and but I like that about it. The covers doesn't blow me away overall, but that was the selling point. And like I said, fourth place probably would have been Batman. The rest,
throw it out.
man, no matter how many years I try to figure out, Pat, I'm gonna always fail because obviously I talked about how much I loved it. I would have figured you would have loved this too because this is such a different eclectic mix of styles and layouts that that you guys always are appreciating more than me. I thought that you would like it more, so I'm surprised by that, but
definitely a good mix, but the execution on them, I don't know.
Yeah. the Nakayama cover, he kind of pulled it. I always equate this to Adam Hughes just because I see the little outline of the character, the black and white highlight outline. I love when Adam Hughes does that. Artists might do it, but I never really pick up on it except for when Adam does it.
David Nakayama does that a lot. Yeah, he does that a lot too. Yeah. But anyway, so me and Pat gonna predict which one didn't get a vote then?
Yeah.
I'm going with Vampire, the Al Capone Vampire.
Okay.
How about you, Pat?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same.
Well, you're both correct. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I like I've said in the past, I put certain covers up for certain people, and that one I figured I liked it. So I do them all, and then I wait, and then I vote. And that one I had thought about voting for that one. I ended up not doing it, but I kept Johnny in mind with that one because I know a lot of times he likes those old EC horror type layouts and stuff. Unfortunately, I sent Johnny a message like, "Hey, pick 3 is up," and he hearted it, and that's the last I heard from him.
Oh man,
I don't know if he just wasn't in. It was late yet last night, so I don't know if he was in a position where he just couldn't get around to it. But so I basically put that on there, thinking that that Johnny would like it.
Oh, your grandpa's pointing out that Pat he voted for a Scotty Young cover.
Yeah, I like Scotty Young. I just get tired of his baby covers.
Yeah, I think he was just saying that because it seems like we hear that negative more often than not. Not super negative because I don't know, you don't have that in you, but just that you're not a big fan, But anyway,
I think he's a big fan. It's just some of his when he gets on this certain theme or whatever, it seems to wear on a little bit. It's like, okay, yeah, I've seen it before. Give me something new.
Yeah,
and that's what, like you said, that's what the Scrooge cover did. Was you were saying he was still on character with the way Uncle Scrooge looks, but still you can see the Scotty Young in it.
Yeah. And Karen's commenting, Scotty Young rocks. Yeah.
Scotty Young.
And I just want to point this out too, that I like that Al Capone Vampire as well. That's the one that stands out as the least amazing one. I think you said it perfectly where it's the layout that really makes that one cool, which is why I liked it. But yeah. All right, your grandpa's got a comment. He agrees the baby stuff can be overdone, but you go back to some of his other stuff and it's like, wow, he's got some really cool stuff. Facts, your grandpa. Facts.
I like how the 2 vampire covers lined up. I didn't even realize it till now.
I didn't even realize it till Mike was talking either. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
What's kind of neat what Marvel's doing with the Blood Hunt books when they go back to second printings, they're all red. It's the same cover as the first print, but it's got, the red I guess cover. I don't know. What do you want to call it? It's all red.
Yeah, I love when they do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A subtle difference so you can easily identify it, but not big changes. I love that. That's perfect for me. Yeah.
And consistency. It's consistent throughout this whole crossover event. The second printings are all doing it. Now, if they end up not doing a second printing for a certain book, that would suck. People they're like, oh, I'm gonna get all this second printing. So that's kind of cool how the whole theme and then, oh wait, they didn't second print that one.
Right. Hey, actually, this reminds me of another comment I wanted to ask you, particularly about Pat as well, with the Jango Fett. So, does it feel like Jango Fett has just like fallen to the wayside of all the other focus of all the Mandalorians? It's like, you know, Jango's the OG technically, and you know, it's like he doesn't. I'm glad he's coming back in comic book, you know, because I feel like he's been so unused for so long. You get that feeling too that Jango Fett's like, nah, he's like a second tier, you know, Mandalorian. What say you about that? You thought about that at all?
In so much as that I didn't even know he had his own comic coming out. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, he's definitely unmined territory. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, we can't even have we couldn't even have him in any show. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like Qui-Gon. He can't be in anything because they wiped him out so early. They wiped him out so early in a prequel. So, you know, it's like,
it's like, yeah, we're gonna kill this character here, get rid of him, and then everybody loves it, and they're going, "Oh, dang it!
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that."
All right.
So that's it.
Awesome job, though, Mike.
Thank you. Get there Wednesday. Pick up your books.
Yeah. I think we're officially off Instagram. I'm getting a notice.
Yeah. I saw that. So if you're listening to us on Instagram, sorry, we're not here. We're not there.
They can't hear you say it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should come up with a warning saying, hey, Instagram's getting ready to drop off in 60 seconds. We could say bye. Go switch to YouTube or Facebook, whatever. So anyway. All right, we ready to get in some reviews since you've had too much for 2 months to read. What are you going to review?
Seriously.
Right, Pat?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Oh, perfect. Mike, you're first. And I didn't even manipulate it. That's just
I know.
the way it happened.
I was watching.
Oh, you've been there the whole time. All right, what you got, Mike?
Well, we were off so long. Jeez, I didn't read nearly as many comic books that you would think I should have.
Yeah.
I think I should have. But so going through what I was going to review. I'm missing pictures. They were there. BC. Oh, man. And can you flip me around and someone else go so I can get my pictures up?
Yes.
I can
Your
do
grandpa's saying see you later. He's glad we're back. Thanks, your grandpa. Have a good one, man. All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
Switched our picks like that matters. Or switched our feed. Okay, so I'm going to double down on what Mike said. But you know, I literally read nothing because the same reasons that we weren't having a show is the same reasons why I didn't read any comics. But I did read comics the week up to when we were supposed to have the next show. So that's what I'm reviewing today. I read Frank Miller's Ronin Book 2. I'm not sure. I think I may have reviewed number 1 again. I can't remember because
yes, you did.
I did. Okay.
Yeah, I remember you reading it.
So I read 2. So I read 2, 3, and 4 then, but I don't have a picture for 4. Well, whatever. So anyway, I can't remember exactly what I was saying about part 1. Oh yeah, actually, I do kind of vaguely remember that I was undecided. We'll see where this goes, right? I think that's what I said. And here's number 3. I don't have the pick for number 4. I just have 1, 2, and 3 up here.
That's great. Oh, Yeah, Philip Tan's doing the work. Yeah, man, he's so good.
Yeah, I love the covers. They're great. And I'm a huge one of my favorite. If we did a top 10, which we need to do, top 10 favorite comics of all time, we need to do that. But anyway, when we do that list, Ronin, the original, is going to be on that for me. I love Ronin. One of my earliest favorite stories ever. And I feel like I need to go back to read it again because to appreciate it, because man, Ronin book 2 didn't get it done for me. Obviously, Mike talked already about how Frank style has changed. I don't know whether you've heard it or you're just speculating, Mike, that it's intentional or just he's kind of just changed. Did you actually? Is it intentional? You know,
Yeah, I'm speculating.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, of course. You know, rather than him just being trash. But not that I'm saying the art is trash. It's just definitely an acquired taste kind of thing, which I actually have started to acquire a taste for it personally. I can't remember what was the first one we saw it in. Was it Captain America or no, Wolverine? Was it Wolverine?
I think it was that Wolverine book.
Yeah, we were all like, "Oh my god, this is garbage." But I've started
to like his Cap one.
Say it again.
I like the Captain America one.
Yeah. So I've definitely started to warm up on it too. How do you feel about Frank Miller's current art situation, Pat?
I don't know what to say about it. I'm not loving it, but I'd say it's definitely a stylistic choice because it seems.
Are you warming up to it a little bit more as we've seen it now a bunch of times rather than when it was first started to come out?
I guess I'm coming to terms with it because it seems, like I said, he's consistent in what he's doing, so it just seems to be his current style.
Okay, that's fair. I like that. So anyway,
let me throw this out real quick before I forget. I think the style that he has, it allows for him to be fast and not really spend a lot of time at the drawing board. Seriously. So if you go back and look at it as Daredevil stuff, that was hours spent drawing. And maybe at this point, just he physically can't sit at the table that long, that many hours in a row. What are you laughing about? Am I making sense?
Well, yes, yeah. You are making sense.
He's got places to go. He's got to get to the Baltimore Comic-Con.
He's got his plane to catch, or his train to catch. Yeah, listen to me defend Frank Miller, and he left us. He left us at the altar. All like 120 of us. That jerk. I'm kidding, Frank. Love you.
Right, no, Mike, the reason I'm reacting the way I am is not really actually exactly what you're saying. It's just I feel like anytime you've got an issue with some art, it's always because they're rushing. They're rushing through it. They got to intentionally do it fast or they're rushing. It can't be anything else. Which that's what I was going to follow up with you that. Did you read that anywhere? Or is this just all Mike Spec?
This is all Mike Spec. Yeah, this is all. I haven't read anything on actually why his style has changed or why he's doing
right
like that. I'm just looking at his age and just with any physical issues he's having. I chalk it up to like, you know what? He just can't put the time in, but he's still willing to put something out there.
I love the addition of the he just can't sit there long enough. Anyway, I don't know. I'm getting such a big kick out of it, but
I don't know either, but it's awesome.
But you might be right. Here's the other thing. You could be completely wrong.
That's true, but I don't think I am.
I don't think you are either because I love it. I think it's a great spec. Absolutely.
Because that's the thing. I like Frank. I don't, he's look at how long he's been doing it. We all love his work. So I have a respect for that. And I don't want to talk trash on the guy that's,
agreed.
Respect what he's doing.
Right. All right. Let me talk trash about this comic though. I'm just gonna attack this right. This comic is trash. Okay, so this is a really bad story. In my opinion, of course, my humble opinion, this is a really bad story, and it's done poorly. So, so art aside, because again, like I said, I'm starting to warm up to this style, so I didn't mind. I was actually, like I said, enjoying quite a bit of the art, the interiors.
Frank does the interiors too?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Philip Tan did the interiors.
Well, he definitely does some.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm talking about my butt there, but I totally, maybe I just assumed he did some, because you can definitely tell when it changes. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Anyway, and I like Philip Tan a lot too, so I like that, and I feel like he was trying to match, though. Does that make sense? He was trying to kind of go with the flow of the style too.
So I mean? Philip's drawing with his left hand. If he's writing,
no, all he had to do was draw twice as fast.
Right. Yeah, it's like
that speed involved.
It's not, but it's done. Right. All right.
Anyway, but yeah, it's literally the same thing is happening constantly in all 4 issues. Okay. So I don't know whether, again, if I'm recapping or I've never said this, but this is the original Ronin's son and his wife that this is about. And basically the wife is fighting a demon, and her son is helping her fight this demon. And they're trying. The original Ronin's still alive, or he's kind of like in the suspended state. They need to rescue him. Okay. So in the first 2 issues, they're fighting a demon. And then in the next 2 issues, they're fighting she reminded me of John Carpenter's Thing. She was like this crazy absorbing material, multi-faced, multi-armed, kind of crazy demon, which I don't know whether when I see that kind of art, I'm thinking this is something I could draw because it's so nonsensically messy, you know what I mean? Or it's intentionally nonsensically messy, and that's the way they wanted it to look. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, but anyway, it literally, and I haven't even gotten my biggest complaint yet. It's the same. I felt like I was just reading the same page over and over again. It was so weird, almost surreal, how every panel and then continuing every comic seemed so similar that it's like, are we getting to something else? But it was moving this story slightly forward, but it felt very repetitive, which brings me to my biggest complaint, that there is a lot of intentional repetition in this, meaning every time someone says something, they say it again. It's like so weird to even read. I didn't enjoy. I think the story was weak because literally not much happened. 2 major fights with a demon and a crazy lady trying to rescue the Ronin, and that's it in 4 issues. And it's literally in the same locale too. It's not like they're fighting across areas or whatever too. It's literally issue 1 and 2. I shouldn't say literally because I can't remember a couple months ago, but it is the same battle for the first 2 with one guy, same battle for the next 2 with another, and those 2 battles are similar as well. It's like nothing happens, Yeah. Except, as you can imagine, they win, with moments throughout both of these battles that they give you the impression that they're not going to win. And of course they pull a rabbit out of their hat and manage to win anyway because of something else, But man,
struggling.
Yeah, I don't know whether the original Ronin kind of tainted me on this. Like I was expecting, in my mind, I'm like, man, I love the original Ronin so much. I'm gonna love this. And my expectation were too high, kind of thing, But yeah, this is a big forget it for me. If you like classic Frank Miller, this isn't for you. If you like the first Ronin, this isn't for you. If you like manga that is like, how manga battles, you could have one battle that goes over like 8 books. So if you like that, maybe this is for you, but in my opinion, there's just nothing here. I'm probably gonna finish it out just because this happened to me before where I read the final issue, I'm like, oh, this is genius.
Yeah. Get it now.
But yeah, as of now for me, Ronin book 2, big forget it. Sorry, Frank.
Yep.
Doing a little looking around while you were talking, Kevin. It appears that Frank did the layouts, and then Philip Tan did all the artwork. But this is also interesting though, because Frank, I pulled up a picture. I'll throw it up here on the screen. Frank, his layouts are actually very detailed. It's like almost like why'd you get Philip Tan to do the book? Because here we go. Here's an example page for you.
So that's why it looks so much like Frank anyway, because it's right. That's why I'm not crazy here.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, Philip really made her a lot prettier.
You're right. Anyway, so yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, thanks for correcting me, Pat. I appreciate that. All right, what do you got, Pat?
What do I got? Well, your grandpa, he left a little too early because I was going to give Scotty Young some more love here.
Hopefully, he checks out the rest later. I'll send him a message.
Yeah. I'm sure he will. I actually read a lot. One time you can't be working on things is at 11 o'clock to midnight, so I did a lot of reading during that time period. I kind of was going to go the route of catch up. Here's everything I read, but I didn't do that. I just went with the last thing I read, and that's Ain't No Grave #1 by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. This came out last month. I think issue two actually came out this week, but I only have issue 1. It was an oversized $6 book by Image Comics. The way Image sold this, they said it's a Western fantasy, sort of Unforgiven, through the lens of Guillermo del Toro. A little bit of little horror fantasy elements. I also think there's a little bit of Homer's Odyssey so far in this book too. And there, I got a lot of, because Image put up the first 6 or 7 pages as a preview. I got a lot of pictures, and I will say that the art is a big selling point of this. I've become a big fan of Jorge Corona through this book because I think his artwork, it's sort of right up my alley. It's a little cartoony, might be too cartoony for some, but a lot of it is very, very nice. I loved it. Basically, this follows the main character, the protagonist, Ryder. It's told through a series of flashbacks. We get a little bit of her backstory. She was at one time an outlaw, but now she's settled down with a family. As we can jump around here, she's on some kind of journey, and she starts having these flashbacks as we go. And here the first 2 panels are set in her journey, and then she flashbacks to her time with her family in the bottom 2 panels.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, she was kind of living this idyllic life with her family, giving up her rough and tumble lifestyle. But we find out that she's sick, You see that in this last panel here. She starts coughing up blood. So we don't know if she, maybe she has tuberculosis, and she's given a year to live if she takes this tonic that the doctor gave her. But she basically says that's not acceptable. And so she goes on this journey. She's literally on a journey to fight like the physical manifestation of death. She has some kind of coin, this little coin that has the word Cyprus, and we find out that's maybe a city. It shows 2 cypress trees, and she goes on this long journey through the desert, and she comes across those 2 trees, and we find out her horse doesn't want to go through those 2 trees, and it appears to be an actual portal to the other world, or where death resides. So like I said, oversized issue, a lot of pretty pictures, but we really don't know a lot about her other than that she was a bandit in the past. And I don't know, I don't know where we're gonna go from here. She's gonna fight death. But I'm sold. It for me, it's a get it. I'd say sort of undecided if you're just coming in cold and you don't like this style of artwork. I think perhaps it's going to work better as a collected edition when you have the whole story right in front of you. Because, like I said, oversized issue, I think it was like 52 pages, but not a lot happens. There's a lot of just her journeying through this landscape, which is drawn, amazingly. But there's not a lot of progression. So it's kind of wait and see what happens here. But I'm in for it. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm rusty at these reviews. Get it personally for me. Maybe an undecided for the casual fan. But yeah, Ain't No Grave, Scotty Young, Jorge Corona from Image Comics. Number 1 and 2 on the shelves now.
Nice.
Did you read The Me You Love in the Dark?
I did not. It's advertised in the back of the book, and I'm kind of interested now.
Yeah, it's good. Same creative team, obviously, and the artwork is fantastic. I'll have to look through and see what I have. I think I have a couple doubles or some second printings or whatever, but if you like, and that's basically what that's about, is an artist goes to this mansion because she's got a big art show coming up, and she just needs to be secluded so she can just paint, and the house comes alive, and actually the house falls in love with her, and it's really crazy. The artwork, like, it's fantastic. It's so good. So anyway, I recommend that one if you like the art.
I guess it was also the creative team for Middle West too. I have a sore spot, because it beat out the Fantastic Four cover and Cover Combat.
Right.
But I wasn't really. I don't believe Jorge Corona did the cover for that. I think it was Mike Hiddleston maybe that did the cover.
Yeah.
So totally different art style, really. And you can, and through the advertisements in the back of Ain't No Grave number 1, you can see a little bit of Middle West. You can see a little bit of what you said. What was the name of the book, Mike? The second.
Oh, The Me You Love in the Dark.
Yeah, and you can see his style definitely has been evolving, and certainly he can tailor it towards different styles of story. But I think he's gotten, obviously many artists, they get better as they go.
Except for Frank.
Well, I wasn't
right.
But yeah, it's definitely piqued my interest for those other 2 books that they did together. So I may be looking those up.
Yep.
All right. Awesome.
Cool. All right. I read this when it came out a while ago, and then I reread it this morning. So we've got Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives, number 1. This actually came out April 24th. And number 2 came out May 29th, and number 3 comes out next week. So a little bit behind. This is from Dan Waters and Ram V, with art by Matthew Roberts, and I can't forget to mention Dave Stewart on colors, because his colors are fantastic. Once again, I love this cover. This is a Joshua Middleton cover. It's not the A cover, which is still good by Matthew Roberts, but I pick Middleton over Roberts any day. So let me, my pictures are all over the place here. I like when books do this. The first few pages, it's almost like, in the movie theater, the first few pages are, this and that, and then you open it up and it's boom, here's this big welcome to the movie, welcome to the story. So it's based in Peru, and this journalist is searching for what I assume is a serial killer, and her editor didn't want to let her go because she's had a run-in with this guy before, and I think it was kind of, he probably almost killed her, is what I'm guessing. It was a traumatic run-in with him, and you can see the river there in the village that she's in. The river claims another life, and so it seems like people drown here often, and the folks in the village, they don't like to talk about the creature, but they say that it's almost like a sacrifice to the river, so they kind of accept it. Well, Kate, I think, is our main character here. She goes to the corner, and it seems like before she has bribed him into, examining the body because she's a reporter investigating whatever. But this time she can't because someone else has beat her to the bribe. So she sees them actually taking the body away. So she follows them into the forest. So here she is. Here is just some examples of Robert's work, which is really good. It fits this story. This is nowhere near as awesome as Dracula as far as artistically. Roberts is a lot different than Simmons, but also the story, this fits the story. A Dracula style artwork wouldn't fit here. So there she is, and she ends up following, trying to get my pictures, and she follows them into the Amazon, and ends up losing them. Let me find out where I am here. Yeah, and she actually thought that they had got the body to take to that serial killer. It seems like that's not the case, but this is my favorite page in the whole book. So if you make this larger and you look in the background, you can see, in that second panel down with the background, there's nothing there, and then right above her, you can kind of see the form.
Yeah,
I just love that. The kind of way you talked about repetitive stuff in the Ronin book. I love whenever books do this repetitive panels, but there's a little change and you can see stuff going on. So I loved this panel here. And she ends up falling in the water and almost drowning, which it seems like as she's drowning, she's kind of just accepting it and welcoming it. But obviously not going to happen. She ends up getting saved by the creature, and I think the representation of them is awesome. I love the artwork. So that's how it ended there. And this is definitely a get it. I wouldn't say it's a must have, but it's definitely a get it. And I think I have number 2 upstairs. I just didn't get around to reading it.
Hey, let me just say this about Ronin again. There is so much you can't even make out too. The art is so jumbled, I couldn't even make out stuff too. I mean, both of the ones you guys are highlighting. I mean, this is obviously gorgeous. This is obviously more up my alley.
Yeah.
Clear, concise. You can see what's going on.
Good
obviously,
story.
that should be, but anyway.
Yeah, because almost the way you want the book is to be able to understand what's going on without reading.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
That's just a sign of good storytelling.
Yeah.
But in this, you don't get a whole lot. You get end up with more questions than answers here. But it's a good start. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. I might have to borrow yours if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I need to. What Dracula went 4 issues?
Yeah.
I think I need to. I don't think I read 4. I read last one you lent me was 3, right?
I can't remember.
I think I need to finish that out too because I don't. Yeah, I definitely didn't finish it. So anyway, all right, awesome.
So there you go. And Frankenstein's up next for in the Universal Monsters thing.
Very
Do we know
cool.
who's the creative team for that yet?
Yes, and I can't remember.
Yeah, it's okay. Just wondered if it's been announced.
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing it. So
I think the writer and artist. I think the writer is drawing the book as well. He's known. I'll pull it up.
yeah,
yeah. Now, also like the way Dracula was, it seemed like Dracula followed the Universal movie. I've never watched all the creature movies, but I think this is kind of outside of that. I think this is all new storytelling. And I think Frankenstein might be the same way. I don't think they're going to retell the movie. I think I would prefer them to kind of follow the movie version of it, but that's probably been done anyway.
Yeah.
I'll stop rambling. I'll find out who's doing the Frankenstein.
All right, well, while you figure that out, you ready for center stage here, Pat? Because I can't wait.
I'll try my best.
See some, Karen, you can finish that out. Or actually, was that a finish because the last time it didn't finish out? I think that's what. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. All right, cool.
I don't want to interrupt that. So Michael Walsh is doing the art and the writing for Frankenstein, and he did the Silver Coin, which was an image book, and I think it's kind of like there was a silver coin. I think that was the thread through this horror anthology type of series, which I have them, but I never got around to reading them. So anyway,
all right, cool. Here we go. All right. What'd you say, Pat?
Yeah, a lot of stuff had built up. I had to trim some fat.
I can only imagine.
In the form of some weird McFarlane ice Batmans or Jokers or something like that. So first thing, I throw a little bit of love to, my favorite character, Hellboy. And this is the 30th anniversary deluxe vinyl figure from Dark Horse Direct. This is pretty nice. I do have some nitpicks about it. There we see it with a human holding it, so it looks about, maybe 12.
That's bigger than I would have thought. Yeah, that's nice.
I'm always kind of confused about what to call these figures or statues when they go the vinyl route.
Right. Yeah.
But it does have interchangeable features.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Here's all the pieces it comes with.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So you can, sort of reenact the famous short story, The Corpse. There you see him in that form, and here he is with the crown, which is my biggest nitpick. I do not like that head.
You don't like the what?
I don't like the head, that face sculpt, that head sculpt on the horn figure.
Okay. I don't like the little graphic thing on his head. Because that's just supposed to be like the whatever's supposed to be in between his horns. That's not actually a solid thing, right? It's
it's a fiery crown.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't that one doesn't work for me. That one doesn't work.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Add that to the fact I don't like the face,
besides the face
area, on that head. But the other one's fine. But it comes in at $150 for a vinyl figure statue.
I don't know if that's crazy though. That seems, for how big that is, that doesn't seem too outlandish, right?
Yeah, maybe not. The kicker here, what gets my goat is that it's Dark Horse Direct, and they don't go through the normal preview online retail channel, so you never can get that sweet discount. So you're paying full price unless they have a sale. And I really have the other goat in my goat pen is their shipping costs are so high through Dark Horse Direct.
Oh, really?
So it really, no discount plus high shipping is painful.
Make it tough, huh?
Makes it
no go.
That does look cool.
Yeah. So yeah, if I ever found it, on sale, discounted, free shipping, I might consider it, but yeah, it's a pass for me, even though I do like it. Speaking of more expensive items, we've talked about Mondo and their figures. If you remember the Rogue, and there's a Batman. Well, now we have Bane. Speaking of, we had Bane in our pick 3 this week.
Oh yeah.
Here's the animated style Bane, Batman the animated series. This is showing all the pieces he comes with, and there's actually an exclusive version, which is since they do a timed exclusive version. So you order it within the first week, you get these extra pieces, which you see in the little square there, which is sort of the extra mask and the sad Bane face and the roided out Bane too. There, it's a whole swappable torso, as a matter of fact.
Holy
which
cow!
Is kind of neat. Yeah.
That's so half a figure.
Yeah, right. So normally, he's 1/6 scale, so he's like that 12-inch scale action figure, which is big. He's the regular version is 220. If you were able to get the timed version, 245, you get those extra pieces.
Jeez.
Yeah. There he is. Well, he's actually, since he's a big figure, he's 1/6 scale, but he's an oversized big figure. He's going to clock in at 13.2 inches tall. So that's, it's a big figure there.
See how reasonable 150 is for that Hellboy now?
Yeah, right.
Here we are recreating the back-breaking scene in the animated form.
Nice. So,
yeah. Like I said, the timed version is sold out, but I think you can still get the regular version. Okay, we'll do some more reasonably priced items. This wave is actually, since this has been sitting in the queue so long, I know people have started to find these on shelves, and this is this Marvel Legends retro Iron Man carded figure wave. We'll start out with Iron Man Mark 1, or they're calling him Model 1, the gold version of the original armor. You get the nice 70s era Tony Stark swappable head.
Nice.
Love that mustache. Look how cool that is.
And let's see where my place is here. We got the Model 9. This is sort of that Armor Wars John Romita Jr. era. I actually do like this armor right here.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
And then we've got the Mark Model 20.
Yeah, why are they doing that with the model instead of Mark?
I don't know. I think Mark is sort of the movie, the MCU.
Oh, really?
Dealio. I don't think they ever designate him as Mark numbers in the comics. But I'm not the biggest Iron Man fan. They might have sort of adopted that. They sort of take things from the movies, and they might call them Marks now. But I don't think the comics used to always do that.
Okay.
These are all the normal retail $25 price range, which is typical Marvel Legends these days. By the way, we'll do some villains. We got Whiplash. Hero, we got She-Hulk in this line because I think she was part of the original Iron Man animated on these cards. She's actually she looks kind of weird because they, bent her legs to accommodate the bubble here, the blister. But it's a really nice figure when you get a nice close-up look at it. And she's a very tall, imposing She-Hulk figure. It seems like everybody's looking for this one, especially when you consider it's a wave of almost all Iron Men. Iron Man kind of sit there on the pegs a lot of times. She-Hulk is going quick, so you have to grab her if you want her. You see her. And finally, one of my favorite B tier, C tier villain costumes, and we have Count Nefaria. I've always really thought he looked cool, even though he's kind of a lame villain. So that's that wave. Some more Marvel Legends news. A lot of people speculated that these two figures may have been intended to be stretch goals for, if you remember the Giant Man figure that was a HasLab a while back.
Yeah.
A lot of people are thinking that these two originally were probably stretch goals for that Giant Man figure because there's so many details and they're so well done. And that is this Giant Man and Wasp 2-pack. We get Giant Man in his more normal
lab coat.
Right. So normally they wouldn't, if it was a regular release, they wouldn't probably include a cloth lab coat in a lot of these things. And a lot of people were really impressed with Wasp head sculpt. She has a really nice sculpt. And so it sort of seemed outside the realm of what they would do for a normal release. That's the speculation that these could have possibly been stretch goals, and they axed them thinking, well, the last Marvel HasLab, which was the Ghost Rider car, you remember, failed. So they wanted to play it a little safer for the Giant Man HasLab. So they maybe cut these and released them as just a 2-pack. This 2-pack is actually a HasLab exclusive. It's going to run you $50. And I believe it actually sold out fairly quickly. So I don't know if it's available other channels. HasLab exclusives are sometimes available through the Entertainment Earths or the big bad toy stores, the online retailers. But it's been a few months and I didn't really follow up on that to see if you get it anywhere else.
Nice.
Sorry, next. A lot of their branding is moving towards celebrating Marvel's 85th anniversary. And that's the case with the offerings. Next up are the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider with his bike. This is going to run you $50. Here's everything he comes with.
I was never a fan of that bike.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of that flame off the head. It reminds me of what's his name from The Incredibles. Every time.
Yeah.
What
is his name from The Incredibles?
The Incredible Flame. I don't know.
Okay.
I know the villain with his hair, not flame.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I get it now. I don't recall.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that one. Yeah.
Don't like that one. I kind of like it. You see him unfortunately. Oh, wait, here we go. Back of the box. There we go. On the bike.
Oh, I like how they have that the flames are like the
stand.
Yeah, the stand. Yeah, that's cool. And it can do a wheelie. Okay, that's pretty cool. What was Buddy Pine's villainous alter ego though, Karen? Buddy Pine's the kid's name.
I can't believe I can't. It's not.
I can't believe I'm blanking on it now too.
But yeah, so you see the theming there. This Marvel 85th anniversary, and they carry it through. Here's Power Man and Iron Fist, or Luke Cage and Iron Fist, as they call him here. 2-pack. This is also $50. There you see alternate heads, alternate hands, swap outs, power effects for Iron Fist. There's them posed in action. The weirdest thing about this, and I can't unsee it now that somebody pointed it out, is normally, does anybody notice something on Iron Fists? something doesn't seem quite right.
No.
His tunic, his top usually came down to a V. It didn't come straight down like that. It's very weird.
Oh yeah. His whole stomach is showing.
Yeah. I'm not sure why
so it's
that
like
choice was
tucked
made.
straight into his briefs. Yeah, that's terrible. I hate this now.
It's so weird because I didn't even notice it at first, but now I can't, as they say, unsee it.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a great underused team as well. These guys are. I've always liked Luke and Power Man and Iron Fist. Yeah,
me too. And I'm a huge Iron Fist fan. So
Syndrome. Thank you, Karen. Karen got
Thank
it.
you. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, some more in the 85th anniversary. This is a Target exclusive. She's showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah.
Not showing up for me.
No, we can see her.
This is Warbird.
She's awesome.
Carol Danvers. Yeah, I don't know why. I can see her in my little thumbnail thing, but I can't see her on my screen. She's if I didn't say, she's a Target exclusive, probably part of their Geek Fest, which is going on now. There she is. She finally popped up for me. I'm a little delayed, I guess.
That looks really good. She's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really well done. 2 head sculpts you can choose from there.
Hair's perfect.
Yeah. Then we have Superior Spider-Man. He's had a release before. This is sort of an update.
Are those chrome eyes?
They kind of look like something's going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that.
And then we got Wolverine from the Astonishing X-Men run, that sort of Joss Whedon era costume.
Pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Like that.
And then finally, there should have been one more. One of my pictures dropped out from the upcoming Deadpool Wolverine movie. Here's Wolverine, civilian style Wolverine. Yeah. This is under Deadpool Legacy Collection. They're calling this. I'm not seeing, maybe a little bit of Hugh Jackman on the extra head there, a little bit, but not seeing much
in the first one, or the screaming one, whatever.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. The claws look kind of wonky there too. I don't know. The other figure that was supposed to be here was, of course, Deadpool. Just imagine Deadpool inside that same packaging. Another Deadpool figure, you know. And finally, to finish out Marvel Legends, this was just announced this week, so sort of a newer news item. This is from the Werewolf by Night Disney Plus series. We have Man Thing.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
So he is an oversized boxed figure. He's going to run you $40.
Don't like it that much.
Yeah, there he is. He only comes with 2 alternate hands.
Travesty. What?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
It looks good though.
All right. I had a last minute ad here. This is, talked about these before, from Tweeterhead. We had the Superman bust previously. These oversized busts are really, really nice. And they announced the Batman bust. Actually, I think it was last week, but he's awesome.
Wow.
He's 1/3 scale. These are big boys. $300, only a limited edition of 350. These are very limited. There he is from the front. There he is for Kevin from the back.
Yeah,
there's a profile.
That is awesome.
Some of these dropped out too. I had a bunch more, unfortunately. Here he is with Superman, so you can see the 2 of them together.
Oh man, what a great set that would make.
Yeah.
limited edition of 350. Is that what that's saying?
Yeah, that's very small.
Holy cow.
And I saw their Facebook post. They said they're about halfway to selling out. I can't believe they're at 350 in the quote unquote statue good old days. 350 would have been long gone.
Heck yeah.
But I think they priced a lot of people out of the statue and bust collecting hobby. And even though for this size bust, that's not horrible.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. You think they'll end up doing a Wonder Woman then?
No, Doomsday was the second announced. I think he's come and gone as far as pre-orders go. He's even big. I think he's pricier, but of course he's Doomsday, so he's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
But I think I wasn't. If memory serves me, I wasn't overly impressed with Doomsday. When you see Superman and Batman together, it's pretty impressive. I think they're both super well done.
Yeah.
Sculpted busts. They just look really good together. I thought they looked great alone. They look really good together. So.
Yep.
But if you have any extra money left over, you probably don't. Now we'll probably get to our what we teased. Could possibly be a wretched hive of scum and villainy. And the old HasLab is back. And they're going back to Mos Eisley for the Cantina. So we have the Mos Eisley Creature Cantina action playset.
Man, I love that.
Following that Batman Superman, that looks like trash.
Well, sir, this may look like trash, but I loved my Creature Cantina when I was
Me too, man. So fun.
I know. I just insulted most Star Wars fans. I'm sorry.
I really did love this playset when I was a child.
Me too. I wore this thing out, man. And yeah, I loved Walrus Man, gave me great appreciation for Walrus Man when, this time frame. Just all, I think I've mentioned a million times. I wore out my 8-track of the Cantina scene, and this is what I was doing a lot of times when I was listening to it, so.
I didn't have this.
Well, it was cheap. It was like $5.
It was relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
I didn't have any Star Wars toys when I was a kid.
Oh man.
I had to play with my cousin Mark's toys when we went up to Michigan.
So, of course, this may be trash, Mike, but how about this? This is the HasLab campaign that was announced recently. And this is for a vintage series modern Cantina. We'll start getting into the pictures here. This is the Mos Eisley Cantina. It's huge. So the base is $400. That's pretty pricey. The deluxe is $500, and we'll kind of try to get into what that entails. So here's the base Cantina.
Everybody has their own cup,
right? So that is what you get at the base level as far as the Cantina itself. You get the bar section and the side section, the entrance, and all the booths and chairs and cups and glasses and miscellaneous items such as that, and that will run you $300 or $400. And then for an extra $500, you get the mirror image on the other side. So you get this side of the Cantina, which you can see there's little pegs that can latch onto it, and you get pretty much sort of the same things. So you can make one whole complete Cantina. We'll go through some shots that sort of show it set up. Detail at the bar there. Of course, you can see the distillers that were repurposed for IG-88. If you didn't know, and of course we get 3 figures with this set. We get the bartender Wooer, who's been released before.
3?
Yeah. Sorry.
I thought there was 4.
There's 3 that come with the base set.
Ah.
Then we'll get to the stretch goals.
Oh, okay.
So you get Wooher, the bartender. We get the Tonica sisters, who they kind of said we're never going to have figures made of them. There's differing stories as to why that is, whether it was legal rights between one of the actresses, or that George Lucas did not want these figures ever being made. But here, they can sort of, just like with the like we talked about the HasLab for the Ghost Rider car, they were sort of sneaking in figures that normally couldn't be on the pegs normally, like Mephisto or the Goblin Queen, which is funny enough. She's probably going to get, she either has or is going to get a release through the X-Men 97, but she's definitely toned down a little for the animation. Some more shots, the cantina. Let's see here. There you see that's the base one. Here's a picture of everything. If you go all in and get the deluxe, you can see how it you get the extra side, which basically is like a mirror image. You get a sticker sheet. You can put up wanted posters and little graffiti bits here and there if you do so choose. The figures are individually carded. So again, there's Wooher. There's the bartender, and then there's the Tonica sisters, Brea and Cindy. And then we get to the stretch goals. Let's start out by saying they need to get 8,000 orders of the Cantina by July 8th. As of this morning, they're sitting at 4,778. So they're over halfway. But to get the stretch goals, Greedo is at 11,000.
Awesome.
Nabron Leeds is at 14,000. Once we get past Greedo, I apologize for the pronunciation if I'm not hitting these Cantina creatures that have been named later on in expanded.
That's basically a $3,000 figure. Yeah, I got it. They got it. That's the stretch just to get to that.
Yeah. And if you want poor Arliel Schaus, we have to make it to 17,000 Cantinas.
That's the one. I thought that one came with it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
That sucks.
So I don't know if we'll get to all these stretch goals. I feel like this will definitely be fun at being at Star Wars and Vintage Series,
and it's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
If I had, I saw this already, and I figured you were going to be covering it, and I was like, oh man, it's so cool.
All right, so if you had the money and you can get this with the stretch goals or the Batman Superman bus, which do you guys get?
This.
Figured.
That's a tough question because once you get it, then you have to find some place to put it.
Well, that's what I was thinking about with this. That I've got new things going on with my shed right now, and this would be like so cool to have that. And sometimes you think with these toys, you can actually see yourself playing with it. I don't know if it would actually happen.
I can see you playing with it.
I mean, like, it's so awesome. I love it so much.
Well, I got to look at it also. It's like, okay, which one do I have a greater chance of putting in my living room?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely sneak the Superman and Batman busts in easier than this Cantina setup.
Emily be like, Marcus, come and get this crap out of here. This goes to your room. She'll throw it in a cardboard box.
I mean, and this doesn't quite do it justice because you throw obviously Luke and Obi-Wan and C-3PO in here, and it's Han Solo, Chewbacca, they're all, imagine all of it. Here it is, Mike.
I get it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think because they don't want to confuse the buyer that there's not shots of a fully populated Cantina.
Right. Imagine.
I'm thinking that's probably going to come in the next couple days, weeks. they'll show fully decked out, all the customers and everybody, because that's when you really can kind of maybe get a better idea of what all can be going on in this thing. But
yeah, imagine that back booth with Chewie and Han sitting there across from Obi-Wan and Luke.
Right. But I also think about, all the work you would have to take to set something like this up, and then one little bump and it all comes crashing down.
Yeah, well, that's what I was actually thinking, that as you were showing the pictures, that especially that one where they've got it all shown. Yeah, that one. It's like
pick up all those glasses, man.
Yeah, that might. It's looking a little bit like more of the work there, but here's the but with this. You think Lego came to mind with that it's like, obviously Lego's a million different pieces, and guess what's the funnest part, in my opinion, with Lego is building it, and then you're just setting it up and you're putting it there. This has building fun. You can do it probably a million different ways, and then you got all the figures in a million different. That's why I'm imagining playing with this. Not like Mike was saying, like not like that, but where you're messing with this thing every time you see it. You change. It's Han and Luke and Chewbacca and Obi-Wan talking, and that's next time you got the werewolf guy and Obi-Wan with his lightsaber protecting Luke on the floor at the bar. What scene are you going to recreate? It's awesome.
Every day, just move them a little bit. You can do stop motion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too. That sounds awesome too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is cool though. I was just joking, but I'd still take Batman.
Yeah. That's great, Pat. That's a great contrast there. Nice.
All right. Well, that was it really, but we'll do a little. I was able to find Deadpool. There he is. Just what you probably imagined.
That's exactly what I imagined.
And here's another picture of the Batman bust that shows a better close up of his face, which I
think it's epic. That is epic.
But yeah, that's it. Switching back over. As usual. Excellent work, Pat. Totally exhausting to want that much. Knowing I will probably never see any of it.
After Pat's segment, now I can relate to Marcus walking down the toy aisle at Target,
Right, exactly. That's a good way to put it. Yep.
All of this.
Yeah, because it takes you back. Yeah. Definitely. Anyway, and it, they need, like, especially for all these new toys, like a store like that store we visited in Butler, where you could go in there and play all those games.
Yeah, your parents' basement.
Yeah, your parents' basement. They have a place like that with all these toys that you can go in and play with all these toys.
That would look weird.
You'd have
called adult daycare.
Yeah. Oh, genius. You'd have to make it by like appointment though, because I'd want this. You guys can watch, but this is my spot. I'm playing with the cantina today, So. But anyway, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, "Dadgum!" I mean, how many times do I say that though? I mean, all of us, every time. It's to be a millionaire. To be a millionaire.
Oh, one thing about collectibles on the horizon I forgot to mention. It is June. You know what that means?
I do know what that means. What's it mean, Mike?
I know there's something that
I know. I forget.
It's clever, right? It's a clever thing.
It is.
It is very clever.
Oh, GI June.
So close.
Yojo June.
There you go. Yojo June.
GI June.
It's the sequel to GI Jane.
Yeah. That's when her younger sister goes boot camp. odd fact about that G.I. Jane movie, my cousin Mark is in the background of one of the scenes there.
Oh, really? I think you told us that before. Yeah, that's really cool.
I'll have to see if I can find that scene and screen capture it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
How weird is that? He was mentioned twice in this episode.
My cousin Mark. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, you ready to recap this?
Seriously, we used to tear his basement up, flip everything over. And this is before I saw Star Wars and he lived Star Wars. So we'd flip everything over and we were sitting in the X-Wing. We built the furniture as an X-Wing. And he's telling me all this. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. I get it. We're sitting in that toy right there. Yeah. It was fun.
Man, one of my favorite / kind of sad, somber lines from any movie. I think it was, what was that movie with Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt? Where Jack Nicholson's a rich, eccentric writer. Yeah. And yeah, what was the name of that?
Something, is it good? As good as it gets. Yeah.
As good as it gets. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah. What's his name? Ghostbusters guy is a doctor for Helen Hunt's son that, Jack Nicholson sends. And I might be confusing movies. Anyway, there's a scene where a doctor is analyzing a kid. And he talks about how the saddest thing about kids is this was I remember what it was. Bridge over Terabithia, maybe. Where I'm all over the place. Yeah. But never mind. I'm getting to the point. The saddest thing about, when people think kids that grow older but don't lose their imagination, and that was the thing with Bridget Terabithia. That's why I'm sorry about that. As good as the get thing. Sorry. But that, she was continuing her imagination through later years. And the doctor's like, yeah, the saddest thing with all of us is when we run out of our imagination, So let her have it as long as she can have it was basically the point. I'm butchering the line, but I've always thought about that, especially like a mature adults that think, look at people like us and we're all like, what are you doing with toys and comics and everything? No, you envy that you wish you could live vicariously through like your kids directly. And just like Mike was saying, I'm coming full circle now, where you could, Mike, you're in couch cushions, envisioning you're in the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
To have that again,
Yeah.
And even do this with the action figures in the cantina. Mm-hmm. I don't do that because I can't. I feel like an idiot,
Right. Yeah. We lost that. I always say that about climbing trees. I love climbing trees as a kid. I go out and climb a tree right now. People are like, could be on, Instagram somewhere. People are like, look at this grown man in a tree.
Exactly.
Why is he there? He's not supposed to be there. Why am I not supposed to be there?
Exactly. Exactly.
So to help you out, Kevin, what you're saying is when you're a kid, that's as good as it gets.
You faded off there at the end. What'd you say?
I said, just to help you out, what you're saying is when you're a kid, that's as good as it gets.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Thanks, Pat.
There you go.
Yes. All right. You guys ready to recap this?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, no, I didn't.
What?
I don't have a recap. Go.
I just realized that we didn't tweak. We didn't tweak the title at all. The title still just says, I don't know. I was thinking about tweaking it, but it's perfect. Insert clever title here. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Give us some feedback on what the audience thinks of that. I'd appreciate it. But anyway, I'm going to start off with, hey, if you want to hate on Star Wars Acolyte because of all the changes they're making to the Star Wars universe, which I can relate to, but I don't exactly relate to how much hate it gets for different reasons. But you want original stuff, check out Rebel Moon and don't hate on it. It's original stuff. See Rebel Moon Part 2, my review on this episode. Pat?
Hey, your grandpa. I'm not a scuddy young hater. Just go buy Ain't No Grave #1. I'll give it a get it.
Nice.
Yep. I don't have any follow-up. I missed the show so much. I had such a great time, chatting with you guys that I really didn't. I got caught up in all the moments. I didn't take any notes.
Agreed. I agree with that. Except I didn't take any notes either. I'm just
making it up. Yeah, you're recalling
making it up. Go on, Karen. You got anything made up as you go along? Karen saying never grow up completely. Facts, Karen.
You know what, Karen? Thanks. Because guess what I'm not going to do now? I was going to clean the garage today. Not going to do it.
Just go play with your toys.
I'm going to forget. I'm kidding. I wasn't going to do the garage.
And then along sticking with a movie recap, check out Under Paris. It's so good. It's got a sequel, and it's the best thing since Jaws, as far as shark movies are concerned.
Yeah, nice.
Boy, let's just. So Valor just came in. He's a day early, but he wishes me a happy Father's Day. So let's just get that out right now. Happy Father's Day to all of you, to all our viewers out there. Hope you have a good day tomorrow.
Very nice.
Yeah, I get to follow up on that and what Karen said. All the fathers go play football or play with action figures with your kids or whatever. Spend the day with them.
Yeah, I'm going to second that right now and just say, happy early Father's Day to you guys, specifically. Happy Father's Day weekend, and to everybody that is back with us while we're back. We really appreciate it. We're gonna do a lot more with that, but don't rush things and be like Frank Miller. And I'm just gonna add Peach Momoko to that, which Mike likes to do all the time. Don't rush your stuff. It's gonna end up to be garbage. Just take your time. It's better to take your time, put out quality stuff than to be rushing. Doing everything too quick. It turns to trash. See Ronin book 2. It's trash.
That's it for me.
Okay. Mike, you got anything else?
No, I didn't have anything to begin with.
Oh, Karen, sorry, I skipped you again. Karen says, she's glad we're back. She missed it too. Yeah, definitely. All right, got a few extra details besides just what our banners are going to say here to close out, but we will start by saying, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications of everything we post. We really appreciate it. I'm not saying that if we had maybe thousands of likes every video and thousands of subscribers, maybe the 2-month sabbatical wouldn't have happened. Who knows though, but when you work so hard and, we've got faithfuls like your grandpa and others, it's great, but sometimes, you know what I'm saying, Mike.
Me? Yeah.
So I'm going to say it again. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Then also subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcast providers, and listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that'll be posted no later than Tuesday. Although that's going to be tricky because Spotify definitely made some changes while we were away. So we'll see how that goes, but something will be up. And then follow Exceller Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and/or X, aka Twitter, and follow Exceller_Comics on TikTok and whatnot. We at the moment do not have a website anymore, just to let people know about that as well, which takes the website content away, takes the shop away, takes the calendar away. I don't know how temporary that's going to be. The traffic was pretty decent on that, but it costs money. You know what I mean, Pat?
You know what you mean.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say this kind of hesitantly, but watch our shows on the Whatnot app. When they happen, magic shows were the thing for a bit. They've kind of fallen off. I haven't done a Whatnot show personally in a while, but I will say this as a tease. A Whatnot show is going to happen soon, and partially is because we have hit 1,000 subscribers on Whatnots or followers. So we're doing 1,000. Thank you, studio audience. So we are doing the next show. We'll have the 1,000 followers giveaway on it, which is a great Creatures on a slabbed copy, I think it's a 9.2. Creatures on the Loose number 30, great Werewolf by Night cover. We will be giving that away on the next Whatnot show, and I'm gonna guarantee it happens by my birthday. How about that, Mike? How's that sound?
Sounds good. Just don't let anybody know when your birthday is so you can move.
My birthday is July 11th, so there you go, everybody. Now you know. There will be a comic book Whatnot show that will have the 1,000 followers giveaway, and I won't just spring it on everybody either. I'll post somewhere that that's when it's going to happen, but they will be far more sporadic because once again, Whatnot takes time, and life is taking more of my time than ever right now. So anyway, then check out what we have to offer on eBay at Exceller_comics. And then you can help support the show and everything we do and plan to do through Patreon at patreon.com/ExcellerComics. And then more exciting stuff here. None of the down stuff. Cover Combat 9 is coming back. Or Cover Combat is coming back. Watch Cover Combat 9, Round 1A, Exceller Versus Edition. Should I change that to Exceller Versus the World? What's your logo? Let me see your logo again real quick. Okay, I just have an Excellers Versus Edition. Should I change it to the Exceller Versus the World Edition?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, I do too. All right, but that will be live Monday, June 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Karen changed it. Let's watch that scroll by one time. Exceller Versus the World Edition. Thank you, Karen. And then lastly, good news, bad news, I don't know. To make sure that we don't miss 2 months again, because that really sucked. We're going to take it a little bit easier, mostly for my sake. So I'm not going to put this on Mike and Pat. It's not their fault. They want to be here. They wanted to do. Pat was talking about having a show 6 days a week one time. That was nuts. Remember that, Mike?
Yeah, Pat.
What can I say? Love being here.
So we are going to do our shows as far as on the regular is concerned every 2 weeks instead of weekly. Now, we can throw in a little curveballs occasionally for whatever reasons, but the regular shows will be every 2 weeks now instead of every single week. So watch our next live stream on YouTube or Facebook and Instagram, for that matter, part of it at least, on Saturday, June 29th at 8:30 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. So 2 weeks from now. But we will try to have the Cover Combat shows more regularly. So like I said, the first round 1A for Cover Combat will be the 24th, but then you won't have to wait 2 weeks to get the next round of Cover Combat. We'll keep doing, aside from, again, special circumstances, as far as regular planning is concerned, Cover Combat will be every Monday night. You won't have to wait 2 weeks for that, but the regular shows will be approximately every 2 weeks. So I think that's about it. Pat, you got anything else?
I don't think so.
Michael.
I'm good. It was awesome to be back, guys.
Yes. Karen. All right, cool. On that note, man, I should have practiced this like 20 times before during the show, but that'll do it. Thank you so much for being here again. Happy Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day tomorrow. Until next time, don't forget, appreciating great art is awesome, but reading a great story is also fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Exceller out.